6 from المعاصر book, General Vision in Unit 13. Look at with me about question number 1. The measure of central angle which represent force of the circle. Force of the circle, it will be 90 degree. Because the measure of the center of angles, sum of all angles which cumulative at the center of angles will be 360. You want to find the force of the circle. Force product by 360, it will be 90 degrees. The result will be 90 degree. Okay, you must know the force of circle, it will be what? 90 degree. Okay, question number 1, result will be 90 degree. We have circles here divided 4 parts. In the measure of this part, central angle, it will be force of 360. The result will be 90 degree. Okay, write 90 in the space. Question number 2, the measure of straight line, it will be 180. Okay, the measure of straight line, it will be 180 degree. Straight line, the measure of straight line, it will be 180 degree. Next, question number 3. The angle with measure equal 120, we called it obtuse. Obtuse angle is an obtuse because this angle, the measure of it, 120 degree greater than 90 degree and less than 180. We called it obtuse. Question number 4. The measure of right angle will be 90 degree. We have two straight line perpendicular at the point. We called it right angle. Measure of it 90 degree. Question number 5. Force of the opposite circle measured. Force, it will be 90. Question number 5. The result will be what? 90 degree. Because force reduced by 360, it will be 90 degrees. The result will be 90. Question number 6. An angle with measure 65, we called it an acute. 65 acute angle, 65 degree acute angle, because the measure of it less than 90 degree and greater than 0, called it acute. Question 7. In triangle NCF, we have NC 6 centimeter and CF 8 centimeter and NF 10 centimeters. In it's, we called it what? We have 3 different sides. We called it scalene. Then this triangle, we called it scalene. Scalene triangle. We called it what? Scalene. Scalene triangle. Because all sides are different. Question 8. 5 or 12 of circle represent what? We can write 5 over 12 product by 360, the measure of central angle, and then you can simplest it. 12 divided by 12 equal 1, and 360 divided by 12 equal 30, and 30 times 5 write 0, and 3 times 5 equal 15. The result will be 150. Question number 9. We use space to measure angle. We use a protractor. Right, the protractor. Do you know protractor? Protractor is called this protractor. Use it to measure the angle. Protractor. Question number 10. The two sides of the opposite angles are perpendicular. Two sides opposite here. The two sides angles. Okay, he asked about two sides angles here. We have AC and AP. He asked about two sides here. Two sides are EB and AC. Question 11. An obtuse angle measured between 90 degree and 180 degree. We called it obtuse. Obtuse angle measure between 90 degree and 180 degree. Question 12. The opposite angle named is what? We have this angle, we can call it angle T, or we call it angle STU, or the angle UTS. Okay, we have three results. Can call it angle T, angle UTS, angle STU. Question 13. An acute angle measured between 90 degree and 0 degree. Question 14. 6/12 of circle represent what? 6/12 product by 360. 360 divided by 12, it will be 30, and 30 times 6, it will be 180 degree. 180 degree, we called it straight angle. Write it straight angle. Understood? You must write in the space, write this word straight angle, because the measure, it will be 180 degree. The type of this angle, it will be straight. Next example shows the correct answer. Space is an acute angle. Acute angle is the measure of it less than 90 degree, greater than 0. It shows letter A 70 degree. Okay, number 1 shows letter A. Question number 2. An angle measure 75. We called it right degree, but it's acute. Choose letter A. Question number 3. 35 is acute angle because the measure of it less than 90 degree. Choose letter A. Question number 4. The measure of right angle, it will be 90 degree. Choose letter A. Question number 5. Angle here measure between 90 and 180. It will be what? It will be obtuse. Obtuse angle, an obtuse. Question number 5. Obtuse. Choose letter B. Question 6. The angle of measure 90 degree, we call it right. Choose letter A. Question 7. Angle measure 180, we called it straight angle. Choose letter D. Straight angle, the measure of it equal 90 degrees, straight angle. Next question number 8. The measure of straight angle, it will be 180 degree. Called it straight angle. The measure of it equal 180. Question number 9. The space is formed by two rays that have the same end point. Question number 9. We must choose the definition of the angle. Choose letter C. Is the angle. The angle is formed by two rays. That have the same end point. Understood? It's formed by two rays that have the same end point. We call it the angle. Question number 9. Choose letter C. Question number 10. The name of the opposite is what? Angle ABC or CBA. Okay, it's ABC here, ABC or CBA. Shows letter P. We can call it CBA. Shows letter P. Question 11. Which angle is named as angle DEF? DEF, it shows letter P. Question 12. The related friction to the angles 180, it will be half of circles. Half because half product by 360 equal 180 degree. So half. Question 13. The angle with measure 50 degree, we called it acute. Letter B. Question 14. Space is greater than 90 degree and less than 180, we called it obtuse. Choose letter C. Question 15. The triangle whose measure is 1 of its angle 120 degree, we called it what? Obtuse angle. Question 15. Triangle whose measure of its angle 120, we called it obtuse, because 120 greater than 90 and less than 180. Question 16. The angle with measure 170, we called it obtuse. Choose letter C, because 170 less than 180. Question 17. The angle with measure 80, we called it acute. Choose letter C, 80 degree less than 90 degree. Question 18. The triangle of sides 9 cm, 7 and 9, we called it isosceles. Choose letter C, it's isosceles triangle. Question 19. We have x 40 degree, y 40 degree, z 100, then it's called it obtuse, because measure of angle z equal 100 degree, 100 greater than 90 and less than 180, we called it obtuse. Choose letter C. Question 20. The triangle whose side length 6, 6, 6, we called it equilateral triangle. Choose letter C, because all sides are equal in lengths. Question 21. A number of degree of the circles equal what? Number of degree of the circle 360. This is the measure of cumulative angle at this point. Sum of them equals 360 degree. The measure of circle angles. This is the number of degree of the circle 360. Question 22 is a triangle of side lengths 4 and 6 and 6. We called it a isosceles triangle, because we have two sides here equality. 6 and 6, we called it isosceles. Choose letter P. Question 22, choose letter P. Next question, by using protractor, draw angle with measure 60 degrees and determine the type. We can draw by the ruler and put the protractor here and going to 60 and draw right by use protractor. Okay, this angle we called it an acute angle. Question number 2, draw angle with measure 80 such that this, doing angle A and put the protractor here and going to 80 and draw the ray. It's 80 degree. We called it acute. Acute again, we have two acute angles here. Question number 3, draw angle measure 110 by using ruler, draw straight line and put the protractor here. Okay, it's protractor, and going to 110 here in this part and draw this angle 110 degree. We called it what? Obtuse. Question number 4, use the protractor to draw angle measure of its 70 degree by using protractor here and 70 degree. We called it an acute. Next example, 90 degree. We will draw two straight line here to ray perpendicular at the point 90 degree. It's right angle. Right. Next example, question number 6. Draw triangle angle ABC with the measure 30 degree and the type. We have 30 here. Acute. By using a protractor, put here the point 230. Question 7. Complete. Letter A. Space is the acute angle. From this, we will choose this angle. This angle we called it acute. We have C and B and D. This angle is acute. CPD is the acute angle. Choose letter A. Letter B is the obtuse. This angle is the obtuse. DBA. DBA is obtuse angle. Which letter B? By using your geometric instrument, the ruler and protractor, determine the type of each of the following. The type of angle ABC. This angle is right. It's right angle ABC. Okay. And the type of triangle. Sorry, you won't find the type of this triangle according its side. Okay. Again, question letter B. We have right angle triangle. And about the sides, we call it scalene. All sides are different. Okay. We called it a scalene triangle because all sides are different. And this we called it right angle triangle. Right triangle, okay? It's right triangle. The type of this triangle will be isosceles. We have two sides are equal lengths. Question number 9, or it was letter B. This triangle here isosceles because we have two sides are equal lengths. We call that isosceles. Isosceles triangle. And what about the according angles? We called it acute triangle. It's acute triangle. Measure each of his angle by using protractor to find the measure. It's acute angle, the measure of it will be 40 degree, and the letter B, it's obtuse, greater than 90 degree. It will be nearest to 90, it will be 100 or 110 degree. So letter C, it will be right angle, the measure of it will be 90 degree. We have here acute angle and 110 obtuse and 90 right.